open up your arms and go in a circle here. Rotate just enough that you get a sense for how big this circle is around you. Today, we're going to look at how to stop letting FOMO control your creative energy. We can be concerned with other people. We can be overly concerned with other people, what they're doing, what they're not doing, how that affects what we're doing. And at some point, that's not helpful. Of course, it is for collaboration, and at some point, it's not helpful. So, we're going to look at where the boundary is today and create a shift for your mind, for your energy, so you have better energy and you have more clear control over what you're doing with your creative energy. So, this circle is for rotation for your whole body, from ankles all the way up to your neck. But also, I want you to start paying attention to is the circle you're describing around yourself. It's the space that you can reach. I can reach this far. I can handle everything that's in my space. Now that's literal, right? That's literal. If you reach this far, you can handle what's in this space. The stuff that's outside of this space would be more difficult for you to handle. You'd have to reach for it. So let your brain settle with that for a moment. Let this be looser. Start to swing your arms, reduce tension from your arms, and let them swing and fall and hit your body. If there's pain, make the movement smaller. Now add a little bit of a dip at the bottom. Make sure your knees feel good with this. Adjust, but you want just a little bit of a functional squat with this. So your arms swing up and down. Good. Now, settle down. Open up your arms wide. Reach as far as you can in all directions without making a step, without moving around. Rotate your body. Do the same thing. Reach. Get the sense that you are reaching as far as you can without taking a step for it. In both directions. Now, take a step and reach and come back. Taking a step with the other foot and reach. Find a rhythm with this. Step forward, reach, and back. And then with your foot, with each foot, you go to the side. So you're going to cover the whole circle. Now, some of this is going to be a little tighter. So go slow. Do this somewhere between stretching and mobility and an effortful reach, but don't overreach. Be sure to go behind you. So if you took a step and reached for what you wanted, if you took a step and reached out for support, if you took a step and reached for what you needed, etc., then that would be the space. So you've got the space that you can handle without taking any steps, and you've got the space that you can handle and reach within that when you take a step. We could keep going and take more steps and keep on reaching, and then you have the ability to get what you want, go for what you want, reach and handle things by making effort and going on a journey. What we're going to do next, though, is within this space, from your hands being out, think of this as gathering everything to you as you bring your arms towards you. So you reach out, and I'm gathering everything towards me, or I'm reaching exactly for what I need and bringing it right here. Do that a few times with a few different directions. And as you do this, think about a real life project, a real life something you're working on, you're working toward. And there might be many of them in different areas of your life. So let them all come to you in your mind. You don't have to control to organize them. In fact, let go of control of organizing your creative needs and potentials. Do some below. So gathering all the resources, getting everything ready, organizing everything, for what I'm doing. Now, by this point, you ought to be able to get a sense, is there anything missing? Are you aware of anything missing? Resources, components, people, ideas, anything missing that you require? There's this old idea, are you willing to do whatever is required? Well, what's exactly required? Some of it you can know right now, and some of it we're not going to be able to know until days later. But for now, are you ready enough? It's like that feeling like I'm gonna do some painting and I get my stuff ready, and there's still something not quite ready, but it's not actually outside of me. It's actually just start. So sometimes the only thing left to do is start, and that can be a big step. We're comparing ourselves with other people. So before we actually do the thing, let's turn the hands around and clear the space. So I don't need to pay attention to anybody else. Whatever else anyone else is doing is not necessary for this. And obviously, that could be important sometimes. You might need other people's input, but for right now, we're playing with where do you not need that anymore? No more comparisons. It's time to start. It's time to start. So bring your hands close to you and exhale. You're putting something in to the table, onto the table. You're putting energy into the system. So there's a bit of a boundary from whatever self and I is into the circle, into your space. Put it out there. Out where? Put it into the space. But this is the space where you've got control. You can do, you can make, you can reach, you can gather, you can take a step and reach, you can leave for a little while and come back, and you have already put something into the space that can continue to be worked on. Now do this a couple times. What do you want to put into the space here? So name this to yourself a few times. Focus, love, surprise. Get a couple words going, and hopefully you find that there's a bit of a momentum with that. As you start putting things into the space and you're able to name them, you can create a bit of a momentum for a while, and sometimes you'll find a natural finish. The more you focus here and concentrate here, relax and let your feet, your body be supported by the ground. Just say, here. Now, let's say this is a project that's going over days and months, maybe even longer. Okay, you're not going to be doing everything in isolation. So let's say that something comes into your space or approaches you. But rather than being a distraction, you can welcome it, add it to the space or not. In other words, receive a contribution from outside of you. Maybe it goes here, maybe it goes somewhere else. You got control over where this gets organized. Something comes from your left. Something that was left to explore comes in and shows up. You're like, yes, okay, cool. But this doesn't go over here, it goes over there. So, how much of your creative energy is literal innovation and how much of it is organization? We're curating, synthesizing, reorganizing. At some point, what's in the space, and it's not you, and it's not within you, it's outside of you, but it's not yet out there in the world where other people can talk about it, explore it, poke at it, criticize it, and all the rest of the things that people do. So, whatever this is, however this works, and however long you've been working on it, and however vulnerable you could potentially feel, we're not going to move it outside of the space, but let's just make it available to be seen. So imagine it is available to be seen. And it's time for things to be seen. And last step, just to see how it feels and what it's like, let's take this and in some fashion move it outside the circle to a place where it is being showcased, where it's available for comment or purchase, however it works for you. So the project is now out there in the world to be seen, talked about. It's a contribution. One more time, it was here. It's another part of another iteration, and out it goes. And now that it's out there or in here, place it where you want it to be, where it's settled to you, where it needs to be, where it's right to be for now. And take a breath and settle. The process we just went through resonates with or mirrors the process of creativity. The space we're in, that which you can handle, and ultimately sharing with others or not. And somewhere along that line, hopefully you found some edges, some sensations that where your pattern doesn't allow you to do what we were trying to do, or keeps you fixed in one part of the process. So today, spend some time considering how your actual real life process mirrors this, what parts you can clean up, what parts you can improve, what parts you can let go of control, and how you can balance your sense of focus within what you're working on and all the possible inspirations that are out there.